Hey everybody, so today we're going to take a look at the Matala BioSteps II series pond filter. I've had a lot of requests for this video. So first thing, we will take the filter out of our box, set the box aside so we can explore a little bit further. Now our lid snaps on the top, so we're going to take this off, set it aside, and look at what's coming with the filter on the inside. We have our 6 filter pads. Pull those out, set those aside for now. They will go in a different direction than they appear when you first receive the filter. Of our instruction manual, metal support bracket, and our fittings bag. So the first thing that we will look at with our connections is to show you how to do the inlet. So we have 3 holes on this filter. On this side we have our top inlet, a bottom hole for a bottom drain. On the other side will be our outlet to the pond. Now to install the inlet fitting, we will need just a few of these adapters from the fitting bag. We'll start with the step down tubing adapter. We'll need our elbow fitting, our locking nut, and the small threaded adapter. To ensure a watertight seal, we will start to work with our gaskets and O-rings that came as well. We're going to have 3 medium gaskets, 2 large gaskets, 2 larger O-rings, and 1 small O-ring. But to start with, we're going to take one of our smaller gaskets, put over the threads onto this adapter, insert that with the threads going through the hole. On the outside will be this locking nut to start. This is simply going to be in place to hold the adapter on. Nice and hand tight there. On the outside, we're going to put one of the O-rings inside of our blue threaded adapter and thread that into place. Then we'll be able to turn this adapter to face whichever way is going to be easiest for us without putting strain on our tubing. And then the other O-ring, the other small O-ring or medium O-ring, will go into here and thread on like so. And then your tubing will just connect here. This will take either a 3/4 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, or 1.5 inch tubing for your inlet. Next, we'll look at installing the bottom drain. So the bottom drain is going to utilize the plug, the large step-down adapter, and the wider nut. And again, rubber gasket on the inside with our nut, as well as the other rubber gasket going over the threads on this side. Just insert the threads through, tighten down the nut from the inside, and then the plug can just be threaded in right here, and then that can just be removed when you want to flush the filter out. Or some people will choose to put tubing over the barbs, remove the plug, just not use the plug, tubing over the barbs, run to a valve so that you can get your water a little bit further away, that dirty water as you're draining the filter, and just open the valve up. Next is going to be the outlet of the filter. For the outlet, we're going to use the large gasket. One on the inside, one on the outside. Threads going to the inside from the outside. And just tighten down the nut. And then you're typically going to glue in just a short piece of 1.5 inch PVC. Will go into place right here. And that will spill directly into the pond, into an upper pool, whatever you choose to do there. Now I will go ahead and show you the other outlet option here, which is to use an optional waterfall. This is sold separately. And to do that, we're actually going to reverse the way this fitting works. So the waterfall box will be placed here on the outside. Threads from the in to the out going into the waterfall box. Rubber gasket. And then putting our nut on the inside as so. And this just allows this waterfall weir to spill directly into the pond. Again, a little bit more decorative that way. And then that can be hidden. Stacked stone around here, some plant life in front of it are some good ways to hide the box. Next, we're going to place our filter material into the filter. This is provided with 6 pads, 2 each of 3 different densities. And this allows the progressive filtration, really maximizes the filter capacity. So the most dense is the gray. That's going to go last, so closest to the discharge. All right, so that's just going to slide in those slots right there. So after the gray pads are in place, next we're going to put the blue. That's going to be just a little bit more coarse than the black. Do note on these pads, the bottom is slightly narrower. It is a tapered pad, so the narrow part does need to go down. So we'll slide the 2 blue pads into their slot. And then finally, the most coarse, least dense, 2 green pads going here closest to our inlet. And that's the installation of the filter media. At that point, with a basic installation, we're going to put our metal bracket. This is just going to add some strength to the filter. Typically just going to put that right here in the middle. You may have to move your pads aside just a little bit to get this in place. And again, that's just providing some extra support so the filter doesn't want to bow out with the weight of the water in it. Then our lid. Again, that's just going to snap back in place as so. And that's the installation of the basic filter system as it comes with the added waterfall filter. But now let me show you also the UV installation. It's another option with the Matala 2 filter. So this is the UV unit right here. This is the transformer, the electrical component. This is going to sit outside. And again, we have a bag of fittings, of course. So the first thing we're going to do is we'll take off our blue nut, remove the fragile parts out of here first. That's the lamp and the quartz sleeve. And we're just going to set this aside. This will be the part that we want to install on the inside of the unit here. So basically it's just going to go just like this. We just have to redo our inlet connection to accept this piece. All right, and to do so, I'll show you here on the inside what we're doing. We're just going to take this fitting that we had installed, take that off, and we're not going to be using that. Instead, the UV housing will operate as the inlet fitting. We do want to take that gasket off of the original. Place that over those threads and insert as so. Again, locking nut on the outside. The hose tail adapter is going back on now. Tighten that down, have everything held in place nice and tight. And then we're ready to finish the installation of the UV. The parts bag that came with the UV, these are actually, if you do choose to use that as a standalone and not go in the BioSteps filter. So what we'll do at this point is we're going to put our lid back on, remove the rubber cap, sorry, let me snap this back in place here. Now, as you can see, underneath where that rubber cap was is just the UV housing. So we'll come back and put our lamp back down in there. Tighten the nut down. And we're all set. This just needs to be placed outside again. It can take some weather, but if you do want to protect it from the weather, even better. But it does need to be where water can't collect. So just place this up on a rock, something of that nature. Plug it in once your water's running through it. And that's going to help ensure water clarity as well as the water health from the filter itself. And that kind of covers your basic options with the Matala BioSteps filter, either the base unit with the optional waterfall or the optional UV light. Thank you for watching. As always, if there's anything you need, please let us know.